All right. Today we're doing a very special thing with our good friend Xoch.
Hey, Brad.
So let's start off, and why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Xoch. I think that's how it is.
Vince Ripper, guitar player.
Will Ham.
And what do you do, Will?
I play drums. Skokie G, bass player.
Very hip. Okay, let's start out with, since I know you guys pretty well, you're based out of New York, you're here in Vegas now. Why don't you tell us the story?
The story is that we came out here in 2008 to play for a showcase for a record label based out of LA that was an EMI affiliate. We came out, we did a showcase, we toured, we did 6 shows in 5 days. So we had like one day where we did 2 shows. It was so much fun. And we basically were networking and talking with the label, going back and forth. And they were very interested in what we did. They liked our live show. And basically, the rest is history. They said, come on out. We came out to Vegas, and we were in and out of LA for about 9 months.
Yeah, they had signed us, and we came out here and gave up the New York lifestyle to come out to Vegas and make a new start. Like she said, we were traveling back and forth to LA for a while. Unfortunately, like many record deals, this one didn't work out for us. We got to keep the advance, though. That's cool.
Hey, that's great.
And get to make the record.
Yeah, we got to make the record on their dime.
And keep the record.
So,
Very hip.
that was the good news. But that doesn't slow us down. We just keep rocking, and
going.
here we are in Vegas at the Vinyl playing a rock show. So
Now, speaking of the record, there's 4 CDs out.
4 CDs.
The newest one is Hollywood.
Yes.
I've noticed a little bit of styles changing from the first CD to this one. Is there any reason for that, or is it just...
No, it's artistic growth. You know, you kind of evolve as an artist, and you kind of have to do what you're feeling at the moment and what's right for you artistically, even if it's not in a specific genre.
yeah, I would say that. You know, although I think our music is fairly accessible, I don't think we're formulaic necessarily in the way we write. So there is some stylistic differences through the songs. And like she said, as we've grown as artists and writers, our music has expanded genre-wise. And I think that kind of helps to explain why there's a little bit of diversity on there.
Yeah, you have to be open as an artist to be influenced by different things, to grow and challenge yourself and conquer yourself.
And that leads me right into another question, influences and styles. Is there anything that really grabbed you, or is it just, like myself, any day of the week you might just hear something and run with it?
I like artists that are really deep and that really like evolve with each release. Like Marilyn Manson's a good example. Like he is his image, he becomes his record, he becomes his projection as an artist. And I really appreciate artists that project themselves into their work.
Yeah, I'm kind of up your alley. I mean, I'm influenced by, you know, the classic rock bands I grew up with, Kiss and Led Zeppelin and Rush.
Definitely.
I wouldn't say they necessarily influence the way I write songs, but I find in a little bit of guitar playing or singing that I'm up that same alley. So yeah, I think just a general rock and roll, influence overall, and then we've taken it there with our own heart and soul to make the music that we make.
Yes.
And you guys?
We love the Chili Peppers.
I mean, because I love the band itself, and I know you guys have to have your own influences and styles, and...
We're all massive Chili Peppers.
Yeah, we all love the Chili Peppers.
There's so many influences, but like really it's just whatever's right for the song. If it calls for a certain, whatever you want to call it at the time, then that's what happens. Like if it turns out to be a certain genre, then that's just it. That's how I look at it. I'm not going to say I'm going to go in there and make a pop rock song. It's going to be whatever it's supposed to be at that time.
Yeah, you can't be formulated.
Yeah.
Now, I know you have some licenses.
Yeah.
What do you have? About how many, and
About
where are they?
45 to 50 almost.
45 to 50 at this point, between
Web use,
television shows,
television.
web use, a few movies, some DVD releases, some television commercials, just anywhere we can get our music heard.
Is
And
there
we've got-
anything that, like, someone out there, if they saw something...
Probably ABC's All My Children.
Yeah.
They use a lot of our music.
We had like 17 songs on All My Children. It was always in the background.
Yeah, but hey, it works.
No major movies at this point, a couple of B-listers. People have probably, it was a Toyota commercial, and that was, a Celica commercial, that ran for months. So people have heard it without realizing it.
Well, I know Moby broke via Toyota commercial.
Yeah.
So, you know, that
It pays nice.
That helps.
Yes.
It certainly
It's
does.
a great way to make money as a band and build your name at the same
If you own your
time.
own songs and your licensing, it is a good way to make some money on, on your music, and that feels good too.
And that's something else I wanted to touch. For people just getting in the business, a lot of indie artists, what advice would you have? What route should they take? Do you have any kind of hints within licensing and certain things, or do you think maybe it's the best road to try to jump onto a major label?
Absolutely. I think it just depends on the artist itself. Like a more commercial mainstream artist would probably benefit by going through a label because they would need the big machine behind it to push it. But some artists are more indie and grassroots, and they need to tour and work their record that way. Sometimes you're an amazing live performer and it doesn't capture it on a record, so it's better for you to actually be out there live so people see you and believe you. Yeah. So I really have no advice other than to just hit Google and research and find things that work.
I would say to any artist, don't look for the record deal. Okay, because in today's music world, record deals are far and few between, and you need to build yourself to a recognizable level of accomplishment before a record label will even look at you. And there are, other things that come into it, image and age, and all these what I consider to be non-necessaries in how good your music is. So if your goal is a record deal, you might be left empty-handed. If your goal is to pursue music as a career, there are a million ways to do it. Continue to push to play live, push for every show you can. Get your licensing stuff out there, and it's not that hard if you know what to do. You sign some non-exclusive publishing deals so that you can continue to sign with other people, and if you just keep putting it out there, people will eventually pick up on it. And play because you love it. Don't play because you're trying to be famous, because then you're never going to get anywhere. You got to play from in here, not from anywhere, not for anyone else's approval. You do it for yourself. And I guess that's about it. The other thing is, if you're going to be a musician, try and make it, you got to grow your skin about this thick. Because you're going to get 99 no's for every 100 submissions you put, and you just have to accept that that's the way it is.
No is just a word.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're bad. It doesn't mean that you don't appeal. It just you didn't appeal to that person, and the competition is very, very strong. So it's not an easy business to do. You have to believe in what you do, and you just got to keep pushing, and that is the secret. I mean, that's the only secret. Just keep pushing. How many times you said no? If you believe in yourself, you continue to push forward as yes. And the last thing is, you have to respect yourself the way you want to be perceived by people out there. All right? If you want to be a garage band, then you put yourself out there as a garage band. If you want to be a superstar, then that's how you put yourself out. Not in terms of ego and how you treat people, but in terms of how you present yourself to other people.
What you project to people.
Yeah. So that's my advice after 20 years of doing this. So.
Now, I've seen the new band together. I've seen you guys play because we're here at the Hard Rock in vinyl on a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
How did this formulation of this project come together?
Well, Xoch and I are
we're like a unit.
We're the linchpin of the project. We wrote most of the material, and we've been doing this band for about 9 or 10 years now. We moved out to Vegas. We had a band in New York, and like I said, the record deal didn't quite work out, so we never had an opportunity to bring the band out from New York. And it's been a couple of years, so everyone's gone their own direction. I am an avid comic book collector, and I hang out at a comic book store, and so do these two characters. And we all got to we all got to be friends, and we started talking about music. One thing led to another, and now
they came over one night and set up and played, and we had fun, and we just loved them. I love these guys.
And it works.
Yeah, I love these guys. They're mine.
So now it's time for some fun, shameless plugs.
All right.
Anyone or anything you want to plug?
I want to plug Max McAndrew for having us at. I want to plug Max McAndrew for having us here at Vinyl, because he's our biggest supporter, aside from you, of course.
Max has given us a hookup. We worked with him for a year. Breaking into Las Vegas' original band is a hard thing to do because it's the land of cover bands. Max has given us a break by letting us play vinyl, so thanks, Max. I want to plug our records. Okay, Xoch the One, released in 2003. It's been released in Europe. It's sold thousands and thousands and thousands of copies. Xoch Cabaret, our second record, released in December 2004. That's probably the most licensed record we have in terms of the songs that have been licensed, come off mostly that record. Popcorn du Jour, which is probably our big rock album that came out in 2006 in Hollywood, came out in May 2010, which I think is our most true to our heart, lyrically particularly, record, because it was written at 2 o'clock in the morning with candles over the course of a month or two.
With nothing but an empty house in a town we didn't even know.
Acoustic guitar and piano. So there was no band influence because we had just moved to Vegas when we wrote that record. So it was just Xoch and I and our hearts and what we could do with candles laying around, and they're all good records. They've all gotten, our music is available all over the internet, iTunes, Amazon, any digital distributor that distributes music, we are available.
CD Baby.
Just look for xoch, XOCH.
Yeah, Google
and you'll
me.
be able to find all 4 of our records.
Now, one more thing, just because myself, I'm always looking for that right endorsement or sponsorship deal.
Yeah.
What do you play? Whose gear do you use?
I am part of the Gibson artist program, which is another word for endorsement. So I play exclusively Gibson acoustic guitars. I also play Gibson electric and a couple of Fender Strats because they're great. And I play through a Marshall JCM 800 head, and I love my rig. So.
I play out of a Music Man and Schecters, and out of an Eden, which is the best way. That's the new sound, or excuse me, a new amp, newer, with an older sound, and I love the hell out of that thing.
Now, I do have a question or two about Schecter, just because I'm going to date myself here. And when I was a wee lad, I did work in a Schecter parts room. This would go back, well, back then when it was owned by new Schecter, old Schecter. Do you know anything about it?
I recently came across it. I play a Stiletto 5-string. I love it a lot. It's a newer one, of course, but I've played the Music Man for so long, and I needed something else that had a lot of balls, and you could play anything on it, like country, jazz, funk, whatever. And I have to say, Schecter's up there now. I'm really, really digging the hell out of it. So,
Very nice.
Yeah, but yeah, newer one, no. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
And Xoch, I know you play many things.
Yeah. Well, Oscar Schmidt, who I think is now through Washburn, that's my auto harp. I have a Fender mandolin, and my mic is a SM58 wireless by Shure.
And what's that clarinet you play?
I do. I play a clarinet. It's an Artley, actually. That is my grade school clarinet.
Okay, and?
Play pearl drums, Sabian sticks, Sabian cymbals, and Vader sticks. Whatever sounds good.
Rock and roll, man.
That's it. Now remember that after you see them, you might want to contact them. We have to get going. Let them get back on stage. Be right here, Buzztv, vinyl at the Hard Rock with Xoch. Thanks, you guys.